I made the most money in this last pay period than I have in a whole year. Now, with the situation in Iran, this is not very alarming news for fellow truckers in West Texas, especially oil haulers. A bunch of my buddies said the same thing. Uh, their paychecks have been pretty big, and we've been hurting for a long time. And it's kind of odd because I started picking up around October of last year, and then we went into December. It was getting pretty decent, and then man, about like I said last week or a couple of days ago, I got my settlement for my truck and trailer, and big money. And I don't say I'll get on here to brag. I just get on here to tell the truth, and that's the truth of the matter. Now, what's happening in Iran, is it affecting us? Hell yeah, it is. Especially fuel prices and diesel prices and the price of the barrel of oil, should I say? And I think it's at what, 94, $95 a barrel. Don't quote me on that. You know, it's the weekend, so I don't know exactly where it's at, but I know that's where it's been hovering. So I just thought it was odd because at the end of October we started getting a little bit more busier. We had a rough year or two, really, since Biden got elected, and then Trump got in there, and we were waiting for it to really pick up big time, but it took a little while. And I just thought it was kind of odd that in October, from there till now, it got real busy. And I'm like, damn, did they know that we were gonna do this? You know, it's just a thought I had. But anyways, like I said, it really ramped up in the last, I would say, 2 months. But it's gotten very good, especially for the oil haulers. And I do feel bad because not everybody makes oil field money. And usually, if you don't know the way the oil field works, I would say, at least with the oil haulers, is whenever the economy is at a certain level, I would say, uh, we boom. Usually, when the price of fuel goes up, we make more. Um, and that's just how it is. It's how it's always been. We're kind of in a bubble in West Texas, I would say. Basically, when the whole country kind of suffers, I hate to say it like that, we seem to do better. And not always, but that's just the mindset or the thought process I have about it, my opinion on it, right? Anyways, like I said, so I've been hauling 4 to 5 loads every day. It's been going very good. We picked up a lot of leases, and I just want to do this update because I'm not sure if that correlates with the war in Iran, but I just know that the fuel price and the price of barrel of oil is through the roof right now, and I wouldn't even say it's the right time to get in the oil field. I just know that I'm grateful that I have myself ready, and I've been working hard for a long time, and you know, the payday came. And from what it's looking like, as long as I, stay healthy and keep running, it's going to be a pretty good year. Especially when I heard from the people I'm leased onto, is we picked up a lot more leases. Again, I don't know exactly how the price of barrel affects us, how it all really works, with the contracts and what have you, because I'm not into that side. I do have some investments in some wells, but I don't really know how all that works on the business side. I just know with the price of barrel, the price of the oil being uh, this high, we hit it right on the money. I was ready. I've been working hard. I'm used to working hard. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a lazy hard worker. If I could work a little bit less and take it easy, I will. I don't mind. But for the last probably month, I've been hauling 4 to 5 loads, usually 5 loads a day. Called in on my days off, and like I said, this was even before the war really kicked off. So I don't know if it's just the perfect timing. I don't know if someone knew something about it, but that's what's happening, at least for me and my fellow crude haulers in West Texas. And I've spoke to a lot of them, and it's all the same thing. We're busy, and I kind of knew it was getting busy because you look around and you see stations where we unload our oil, and there's lines. Stations are full. There's people trying to unload at different places, and companies are renting out spots to unload. And you could tell, I could tell, I knew there was an uptick since October, November, December. That's when it really kind of got more steady because it was pretty bad for a while, anywhere from like probably 3 to 4 loads sometimes a day. But like I said, my truck and trailers paid off, so I could afford to haul 3 loads a day, 2 loads a day, and I still make good money as an owner operator, if not as much as a company driver would make. I make, the way I look at it is I'm a bona fide company driver, for lack of better words, and I actually make in 1 or 2 loads what a company driver would make working almost the whole day. And again, that's not to brag, and I'm gonna quit, apologizing for it. I'm just stating the facts. So that's why I like hauling crude, because, you know, the money I make doing this, I get the time back, right? Basically, even if it's slow, I can still make a good $300 to $600 in a few hours and go home, in 6 to 7 hours probably. And again, this video is not really even for my fellow truckers. It's just a quick video I wanted to make real quick, because I'm out here finna go home and I had this on my mind and I wanted to state this, especially with the war going on right now and with the whole situation with Iran, Trump, and everything. It's a crazy time to be in the oil fields of West Texas, and I'm just grateful that my truck and trailer is running good. I was ready for this, and I've been busting my rear end to make this money. I had somebody on one of my Facebook posts today say that I was a bum and this, that, and the third. And when I had a chance to check it, and when I was, had a quick little break to respond, I said, buddy, I'm hauling my 5th load today out here in the oil fields of West Texas. I probably explained too much, but, I was, I wouldn't say feeling myself, but, I told him straight up, I said, I've been in the field 20 years. Got my own trucking company. I got multiple businesses that I'm invested in. Bum, I'm far from a bum. I wake up at 2, 3 in the morning, go haul loads, and, I work sometimes, many hours. I don't even want to say on here how many hours I work straight, but if you know oil field, you already know how it is. Sometimes you got to work and just make it happen, especially whenever you're behind. Anyways, so like I said, I just want to do a quick update on my channel here. I know I don't get many views on my YouTube, y'all, like my other platforms. I don't know what the hell it is, but it is what it is. That's why I can't even say I'm gonna make this video, off the top and speak about it. My thoughts on Iran and Trump. I honestly wish that Trump would just declare victory and get out of there. A lot of people, I ain't gonna lie, there's some people that I know, some accounts that they like that the oil is hitting almost $100 a barrel, because really, I mean, it's common sense for the most part. The higher the price of barrel oil, the more money or the more lucrative it is to a certain degree, or really fully, for people that are in the oil business, right? So like I said, there's some people that I know that they're glad that this is happening, right? Because this is just going to pump out more demand for oil. Again, I don't know how it all works, because we're in 2026 and it's a whole different age, right? Especially with the way that they produce and the way they drill these holes so quick. It's crazy, how quick they can drill a hole and start pumping, get production going with an oil well. But again, like I said, I'm not really on that side. I'm just trucking it. But there's a lot of people that are actually happy, glad this is happening. And like I said, for the most part, higher price a barrel of oil, the more work will be in the oil fields, especially in West Texas. Now, who's getting rich? I don't know, because a lot of big companies are reporting losses. I don't know if they do that on purpose, or of course, they have to report it with, having these publicly held companies. But for the most part, when we are with a certain in conflict with certain people and the price of barrel is high, the oil field is booming, and usually it's to the detriment of society. Basically, I hate to say it like that, but it's true, right? The whole nation's suffering, barely can even get by, and here we are making these big old checks, and that's just the truth of the matter. And I do feel bad. My wife even said the groceries, $180, she didn't even buy that much stuff, and the price of groceries are through the roof. That's why I honestly hope that Trump, declares victory and just gets out, because the price of fuel, food, I mean, they're running out of fertilizer, I've heard, so really, I'm not happy with this whatsoever. I would rather it be slow and the whole country be doing okay, instead of, sitting here making buku bucks and prices are through the roof. But unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles. And right now, I'm on the winning end of it, because I'm hauling this crude oil, and there's a lot of work. It just really picked up in West Texas. That's why I want to make this video too, for my little channel over here, because if anybody watches it, you watch this far, I'm gonna tell you right now. I said earlier, I didn't know if it's the right time to get in the oil field. I would honestly say that if you ain't in the oil field right now, you should have been months back. But like I said, it's hard to get in the game when everyone else is slow, or it's barely getting by as far as work. And again, like I said, my situation with Trump, I still back up Trump. I back up my president. I don't back up Israel. I don't back up any country. Israel, Mexico, Ukraine. I've said this many times. I don't back up any country. I do support my president. Am I glad that we're in Iran and we're dealing with Israel and all that? Hell no. Straight up, because this thing's going to cost a lot of money, and that's just being honest. But like I said, I voted for Trump. I have faith that he's going to make the right moves and decisions. There's a bunch of people that are pissed off at Trump, but I really didn't want to make this video too much touching on that subject. But again, I still back Trump. He is still my guy, And I do hope that he declares victory ASAP and we get out of there, because this thing is looking pretty bad, especially with Iran, y'all. They are a formidable opponent. And if you do your own research and not just watch Fox News, CNN, everybody else, you will find out very quickly why there's a lot of videos on YouTube from certain people that are supposed experts that are all basically saying that it's a lot of problems in Iran, that we probably should get out of there. And it didn't take me to watch them to make this uh, statement or to come to this thought process. I just back America only. I don't want to get involved in any foreign wars or spend any money. I mean, I'm a fiscal conservative. I'm watching every penny in my house, right? So I don't want to be at war. War costs a lot of money, but like I said in the video, due to us being at war, or I would say being in this situation, there's not any boots on the ground as of March 21st while I'm recording this. But this situation with Iran has caused the price of oil to go up, and even food's gonna go up too. So again, I would hope that Trump declares victory and we get out of there, even though I'm making big money hauling that black gold. If you watch this far, y'all, put that American flag in the comments, and I'm out of here. Christ is Lord. Later.